Alright guys, thought I'd do a bit of an update. I haven't done one for a while. I'm actually in the office on a Saturday. I'm basically mopping up work because I'm going back to Spain very, very soon. I've had a lot of emails and messages about when's the next update, when's the next update. But obviously a lot of you guys are wanting updates because you've got a similar situation with being messed around with the lockdown. So basically not a lot's been happening. I've been sort of focused on some of the issues I've had around Northampton. One of the things I did was move house. It was quite a strange one because the property I was in, I went there. Well, I took the rent on. Basically, just keep it simple. A couple of miles from the office, hassle free. Just looking for somewhere it's digs at night because I eat out during the day mostly, so I don't really need kitchen facilities, etc. Because in all honesty, what happens? The light's terrible in here. What happens is I eat out during the day, then I don't really need anything to eat at night, so I don't bother. So I just took a small place on, keep all my money in Spain, and develop stuff for Spain instead. But the reality is, the first time I was over in Spain, the sort of rumblings about it's going to do this, going to do that to the house, change things. Then suddenly he basically moved the bathroom wall into my room. Then wanted to put the rent up by £50 a month. Okay, fine. Not really happy about this. This is what I agreed. Covered all my stuff in crap. Because the rent wasn't cheap to start with. When I originally went in, it was 425, and then it was, oh, can you pay 20 towards the electric? So it was 450. Then it was like, can we add another 50 for the moving the wall? And then he wanted to put new wardrobes and stuff in. I'm like, I'm already living here. You should be doing this when the place is empty. That was sort of the last straw. Because he said, well, you could move to the other room. The guy's just gone back to Estonia. I'm like, but he goes, oh, but I'll be putting the rent up because I'm going to do the carpet and that there first. And I'm like, get stuffed. So you want me to move out of my room to a room that you want to refurbish, jump the price up, then I have to fart around moving around. Then I have to move back to the other room, which you're going to put the rent up again because you're looking at about 550. You're getting in the territory of mortgage territory for the UK, which I've been trying to avoid. That was the whole bloody point of this exercise. So I thought, enough's enough. So I looked for another property in the area. He's like, you won't get another property at this price. You won't get the usual crap. And the joke being is I've got a property in the same street, just the other end. Instead of going up to 550, it's gone down to 375. But there was loads of other stuff. It's the small stuff that irritates me. Like when I'm away, turns the radiator off. Now, bear in mind, I pay for the heating. It's not a case of it's in the rent, it's extra, So all my clothes getting damp, and that's fine because he's just fleecing me for whatever he can get. So that was good. So I mean, I've been in a new place last 2 days, and to be honest, it's just relaxing. Because the other guy, it was like, what's he going to be doing today? Because although he's messing around with my room, he refurbished the one on the front that left dust in the house for a month or so. He dismantled downstairs. So the guy that was downstairs ended up moving upstairs. He's an old guy, so it wasn't the best move for him because he's in his 70s. But then he moved him down. Obviously, he's probably hiked his rent. Well, he will have, without a doubt, hiked his rent when he went back downstairs. And that's a guy that's been there for years. I mean, I know the guy that went back to Estonia had been there 3 years. So I think this guy just tried to milk it for whatever he could get out of it. But the boiler didn't work properly, so heating was off most of the time. It's just all these stupid things. And you're just like, I just couldn't be bothered with it. The whole point was simple digs, move in there, hassle-free. Internet doesn't work properly. Internet went off quite regularly. You couldn't make it. It's a comedy sketch. So now it's a bit of a moan, but it's more a case of, if you do get in those situations, don't do what I do, which is basically I just cracked on and just put up with it because I'm busy in this place because I've basically done 3 years worth of work in the last year. Move out because, to be fair, a lot of the hassle factor, where you're going, what's he doing now, in the back of your head, is all gone. Because the new place, completely different environment, different type of landlord. Most people have been there ages. Cheaper rent, heating works, internet's 50 meg instead of a 20, which the 20 didn't work half the time. Then he's going, can I ring the internet company? Why am I ringing it? Sorry, where's the concierge? No, it's not my house. It's your house. I know it sounds like I'm grumbling, but it wasn't. Everybody was moaning about the same stuff. It's just the guy was just milking it. Even now, he still hasn't replaced the boiler, which is the one thing that did need replacing in the house. The rest of it is purely for money. So anyway, moved house. So that's where I have been with that. Mortgage, bank come back, 10% lower than I was hoping for. The joke being is I can now go back and reassess it because I'm now officially in the same company as of today, 1 year. So where they would only give me a 60% mortgage, they can go back and they'll get 70% now. So I'm going to request that at the end of this month. Why at the end of the month, Matt? Simply because there's another pay packet gone in there, which means I need even less mortgage. But the owners of the house were getting quite impatient, wanting to sell it now. That market along that run, unless you're renting to holiday people, they're not moving. I mean, they're literally, nobody is buying or selling them. They need a lot of renovation work. They're concrete over steel. For myself, because I can get the price right down, I'll buy into it because I'm not in a rush. I'll renovate it and get it the way I want it. What I would like is the fact I've got multiple roof terraces. It's not far from the beach. It's going to be alright for the next 50 years until we get full subsidence. No. Hopefully by then we'll actually add some footings if we haven't added any sea protection by then. But either way, not in a rush. We renewed our rent on the existing property for a year. They're asking us, oh, why don't you buy? Why don't you buy? And I'm sort of like, to be fair, I'm not in a rush to buy, and for the price of the property and you wanting it, do the mortgage today and pay it out in 16 months. Because basically they want you to do a rent to buy, then 16 months, pay the rest off. To me, it's just too much hassle and stress on it because the markets could nosedive in a very, very near future. Because obviously the Brexit is now looming for December. We're hoping to actually head over to the UK and do some trips over in the UK for December. We'll see what happens there. I was trying for November because that's my birthday time, but the kids are at school. And since I've had so little of school this year, I think I'll have to say December, do it in the December holidays. So that's that. So when I go back to Spain, I think I'm going to call my mechanic and see if he'll actually sort the exhaust system out in the car. Because like I said, I was parking all the money for the mortgage because I was hoping at this point now I'd be literally going back, signing the paperwork and moving into the house. Now I'm sitting there going, you know what, get the car fixed, needs the exhaust split, they take out the DPF filter, diesel particle filter. I'm not saying it's in the Brighton exhaust system, but they have to basically split where it is on the car. I haven't looked at it, haven't bothered getting into that technical detail, but it's just what the mechanic was explaining, because they take it out and they put another filter, because I believe they're metal, and then weld it back together. So that's got to go to Elche for that. So I might give him a call today and say, how long is it going to take? If I give you the order now, can you take my car up, get it sorted? And then there's a problem with the injector, which is the one they kept clearing at the garage. But I think if they fix the injector, it may help with the fuel. If it helps with the fuel, I think I'll take the pressure off the DPF, and then I think we'll actually have a working car. One thing I will say about that car, though, with the problems I've had, it still kept going. You know, we've been to Madrid in it. We've been to, I've been in Madrid, I think 4 times. We've been to Minglanilla in Spain, which is about a 4-hour drive at least, and back. Been to Granada. So I can't, although I'm frustrated with it, I'm frustrated with the garage. The car itself hasn't let me down. It has been a journey, but we're on the right path. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll probably go to the bank to secure the mortgage at the end of this month because it's took them about 3-4 months to actually confirm I could get the mortgage. So we're looking at after Christmas, even though I said right, rush it through because they just seem to all go on holiday. Really do. It's not like they go, Joe, I'm going on holiday. Can you pick up my paperwork for the next 2 weeks? It's like, Joe, I'm going on holiday. Don't worry about my paperwork. I'll look at it when I get back. It seems more like that. So, not bothered. Not stressed about it. We don't need it. It's not a rush. Like I say, I want to move, do it right, upgrade the house, make it the way we want. Then probably buy another one in the same street a little bit further up once this one goes through. So yeah, it's all positive. As you can see, I bring life into the office as well. I buy a lot of plants for the office. My latest addition's a pineapple one over there. But yeah, there's a lot of plants. Although people were watering them heavily, and then I explained a lot of these plants are desert plants. You don't need to water them for 3 weeks. Never mind every other day or every day. Actually coming into the office and tipping out the water. So yeah, that's it. So I'm back in Spain in the next week. That's how soon it is. I'll do an update from the airports because a lot of people found them useful. My thoughts on Brexit, I think it's going to be an exit in the sense of a complete failure, a no deal. And I know people go, oh, well, last minute they're going to do this, last minute. I have very little faith in the British government. Even with this coronavirus stuff, when I sit there and explain to people about there's loads of stats missing that would actually drop that figure considerably. Like now, figures are shooting up. Can you confirm against the mortality rate for things like influenza, colds and other things, cancer treatment, heart disease, suicide rates, they've all increased? Can you put these figures alongside and show me how much these have increased or decreased alongside what is a assumed COVID outbreak? Because I think if we actually really looked at it, you'll find that the figures are far lower than we're being told. A lot of this stuff is seasonal. I know a lot more than most people do simply because I used to build the morgues and temporary clinics and refrigeration units for the storage of people at this time of year. I know it sounds a bit morbid, but it really is. It's literally, we used to supply containers and things to store all the bodies because they get such an influx this time of year. But obviously this year we ain't going to have any flu problems or cold issues or what's another good one? It's on the tip of my tongue because it normally becomes pneumonia. Pneumonia is another one because you normally start off with one of the others and you end up with pneumonia that eventually kills you. So the point is, I don't trust any of the stats. So myself is just keep yourself safe. My personal view is I don't see much risk to myself or my family beyond normal health issues. I expect to be in Spain very soon. I'm trying to get out the door before they go paranoid because they're already starting now. They're trying to lock places down, so I need to escape in the next week. So at least if I'm in Spain, I've already done my groundwork here in the UK. I can actually sit in Spain for up to 6 months without needing to come back to the UK, simply because I've put a lot of infrastructure in place. I've done a lot of hours, hence Saturdays and Sundays in the office, so that next year's work is so much smoother than they've been getting here for a long time. Well, I don't think it's ever run as smoothly as I've done it. Not blowing my own trumpet, but quite simply I've heard that from at least 15 people now. So yeah, so hopefully car's fixed. That's on the agenda now. The money's already there. It's just a case of, like I said, I was trying to get it to a point of a mortgage. Because the thing is, when you set the mortgage up, you need to pump the cash in at the beginning. Otherwise, they put a penalty. I think it's 1% per year. So it's not like you can go down with another 500 or 1,000 and just say I'm knocking off the mortgage, because sometimes it's not worth it. You have to wait till it gets about 10,000. So it's much easier to go, right, put another 1,000 on that. Right, mortgage is due. Okay, take 1,000 off the mortgage before they set it up. and then it's obviously reduced your interest and everything else because you've reduced the amount that you're actually requiring because you paid more into the fund. So yeah, we'll get there. It's frustrating, but like I said, I mean, this year has been a very, very peculiar year for me because I should be travelling back to Spain every 2 weeks. I'll be lucky. 2 weeks quarantine when I come back. But ultimately, I'll find a lot of stuff complete madness. Now, don't get me wrong, the environment I work in, I'm probably more likely to catch it in this environment than 90% of the people out there because we're dealing with very high risk areas, lots and lots of people, and at the same time, it's fine for us, But heaven forbid I go to Spain for 2 weeks. Absolute madness. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting home. Looking forward to setting the Christmas up. Gonna have a good Christmas again this year. That'll be an interesting trip if everything goes to plan. The Brexit thing's the one that's going to be the headache in that because the Brexit thing interrupts it. Is a problem because we want to come out to the UK. There's going to be some interesting stuff. I'm trying not to say where we're going, but some of the stuff that's going on may be related to a TV show if it all goes well. I'll leave it at that for now. Not about me. It's about something that we're actually going to be looking at while we're here. But it's somebody we know is actually on a TV show at the minute, relating to a very unique project. But I won't go any further than that because I know people are then going to ask me what's the project, what's going on. At the same time, we haven't confirmed that we can get to the UK because if the embassy goes, because of Boris not knowing what he's doing, there's delays on this, delays on that, or they just don't process it to create a delay. We'll wait and see. But anyway, have a fantastic weekend, guys. Thanks for your time and see you in Spain.